I'm Zsolt Gödry. I'm CEO and one of the founders of Abris. We are a Temenos partner from Hungary. We are currently a technology and an exchange partner, and we have been working with Temenos over 20 years. We have been services partner, upgrade partner. We have done many projects with Temenos before, and throughout our course with Temenos, we were also a first-line support partner of one of the major clients in Hungary, and we have developed some more tools based on our experience with Temenos. Temenos has awarded 2 years ago the technology partnership to us because we have been developing our tools which are complementary to Temenos. And acknowledging that we are developing on the Temenos stack, we have developed these tools, and this is why we became a technology partner.
Wonderful stuff, and congrats on 20 years. So what are you most looking forward to from TCF 2022?
Well, because of the pandemic, we haven't seen really many of our clients, partners in the last 2 years. Mostly on Teams and we had these online TCFs, which is not that much fun as here. So one thing is really catching up with everybody. This is one thing, and the second thing is really this is my 15th TCF really. So during the course of TCFs, really Temenos is always answering the new challenges, answering the new waves of technology and business that the banks are tackled with, and I'm looking forward to how they are going to answer cloud, microservice technologies, what the roadmap brings for Temenos in the microservice architecture. So this is what I'm really looking forward to.
Eliminating the risks of operational failure in banking IT is a challenge, but one I'm sure your team are very much prepared for. And with that in mind, what do you think are some of the most common pain points when it comes to core banking operations?
So when you are running your operation of your core banking and you have a failure and your clients or end users realize these failures, this is a reputational issue for your bank. This is really reacting to a failure, which is really hard to process and hard really to find the errors, what the root cause are. It takes a lot of time and a lot of things, and to tackle these errors. And instead of being a repetitive instead of being a reacting thing, you need to focus on preventing these errors. You need to see and forecast what the operation may have as challenges, and you need to really focus on these to prevent errors, to go before events happening, and to go before these challenges may happen. Another big challenge in the IT operation is that there are a lot of repetitive tasks. During business as usual, you run close of business, your operators do all kinds of things, lists, and if they are done manually, there's a big risk that we are humans, we do mistakes, and there's a big risk that there will be an error, there will be some problems that may come up, and automating these processes that your operators are doing gives a big relief on eliminating the risk of a manual intervention. And the other thing is that when operators they go into the system and they try to tackle some errors, then they have to access the system from the back door, and without being logged. This is also a security risk, and with the automation and with through a logged way of accessing these commands and these inquiries and user data, you will have information who did what and when, and you will have a control on your operation.
You said you've been working with Temenos for 20 years. You're a trusted IT operations partner. I want to know, what do you think makes a good partner?
Yeah, I would think two things. One is reliability, meaning that whatever service or product you sell on the market, you are trustworthy and your product does what you say about. So it's not just selling the product's functionality, but really whatever you promise to the client, your product or your service does it, and you give this to the client. We have had a client in Africa. After our project was finished, they said they have never had an experience with any vendor when a project was met on budget, on time, and we exceeded the expectations. So they said we were the first ones. The second thing when it comes to my mind is treating a client not like a client but a partner. So it's not a vendor-client relationship, but rather a partner-to-partner relationship. It's a symbiosis we live with our clients. So they have problems. We need to understand their problems. We need to reply to their problems, to their challenges, and we need to help them, and they will help you as well. So this is how we treat our clients always, to listen to them and trying to help them. We get a lot of recommendations from our clients, what to do in our tools, how to develop our tools, what to focus on, and this helps us also developing our tools.
That's very respectable. Let's talk about your tool for Temenos Transact, Gamma. What are the modules, purpose, and some of the key features?
Okay, so first of all, we built Gamma on our experience, on our long-time experience with Temenos T24. As I said before, we have done first-line support with Temenos, and we built Gamma on our experience and for our staff. So our guys were running 2 major banks in Hungary, and the operation was done by our guys manually, and they had their challenges. So 2 things we identified was the 2 main pillars that we built our Gamma tool, which is also an application-focused tool for Temenos T24. One is the monitoring, and the other one is the automation. So in the monitoring, we have sub-modules. We have the online monitoring, where we monitor in real time the operation of T24, the interfaces, the database, the application, the different kind of layers, the performance, the user activity, the transaction performance. So everything, about 65 observers that are overlooking the health of T24. And obviously with monitoring, we have also an alerting mechanism. When a certain threshold is exceeded, then we throw an alert. And besides online monitoring, we monitor the close of business, which is the most important process during the day for a client. So we have a close of business monitoring submodule. We gather all the operations data from Temenos T24, meaning that with the data we can do trend analysis. We can compare different kind of close of businesses or different kind of days from one another, and then we can forecast the next day's close of business, how long it will run, what the operators need to focus on during the day, and we have also a service level management submodule for the monitoring, which is making a connection between the business and IT, translating IT components error into business impacts. So the IT can always report to the business what business impact an error may cause, and the business can always measure the service availability of the system. So this is the monitoring part, and the other part is the automation. We have an enterprise level scheduler, we call it. We can automate any kind of operator's tasks, and we do run events based on manual starting or scheduling to a certain time, and these processes can run parallel or sequential. We can put in any kind of steps into it, and you can always drag and drop and put new steps. And another submodule in this automation is our administration dashboards, through which you have an access to the Temenos classic view and J shell commands and Unix commands in a secured way, accessing Gamma through a dashboard, and it will be logged always who is doing and accessing client data and doing some changes in the background of T24. So these are the submodules or the modules of Gamma.
That all sounds extremely innovative. Moving on then more generally, we're nearly halfway through 2022. What have been some of the biggest trends in the banking scenes that you've noticed so far?
So I would say it's not just 2022, but maybe since the pandemic. We have been talking about digitalization for 4 or 5 years, but really the pandemic accelerated the whole thing, because there was no more user interactions with the in branches. Nobody went to branches, so it's always through channels. So all the banks they needed to digitalize, and a lot of projects that are in connection with digitalization, they picked up a lot. So this trend will continue for sure, and we see there are a lot of projects in that. And because of digitalization, the operation of the core banking system is critical now. Now really the users are online, and they're facing problems right at the same time. So if you are not monitoring, if you are not on top of your system's operation, you could have really bad reputational problems. So this is why I think, because of the trend of digitalization, operation management, operation monitoring and automation is a key for all banks. And one more trend you can see is the cloud, microservices. This is, we haven't seen really universal banks in the cloud or with microservices, but smaller financial institutions focusing on specific products, they are already using cloud and microservices. So I'm looking forward to how this whole technology thing will evolve.